Hey guys, Adam Trigger here, wagertalk.com. We're talking ACC Championship game, and this is a game where the work is already done for you. There's only one handicap here at this point, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But first, please check out our site at wagertalk.com and use coupon code 15OFF3 for 3 days of all access for any handicapper at the site. It includes 5% plays. It includes all sports for that handicapper. I know right now I've got a ton of college basketball going as well. So a great time to try 3 days. You will get far more plays than, than the cost of that package. It runs you, basically the same cost of someone's like 5% play, and those are covered on that package. So give that a shot. 15 off 3. Now we're going to talk about Louisville, Florida State, the finale of championship weekend. Of course, 10 games across Friday and Saturday, and this one with Michigan, Iowa will go in the 8 p.m. Eastern slot, the main event of sorts. And the reason I say that the work has already been done for you is because at this point, when we're making this video, there's only one way that you potentially bet this game, and that would be to lay the points with Florida State. The reason I say that is this opened 6. You had a week if you wanted to bet Louisville, and if you thought Louisville was the right side, you had a week to get down at 6, 5, 5.5. At this point, it's moved way too far. Now you just have to ask yourself, is Florida State going to win this game in spite of their quarterback situation? Because that's obviously the reason for the move. Jordan Travis is out. Of course, it's a downgrade to Rodemaker, but he beat Louisville last year when he came into a game for an injured Travis, and that's really the handicap. Can Florida State win this game in spite of their quarterback situation? And I do think the answer is yes. Now, it doesn't mean they will. It doesn't mean that Louisville has no chance here. But Florida State, they have pros at every position on the field for the most part. They haven't lost a football game this year. I don't think you're going to find anyone out there that puts these two rosters next to each other and says Louisville has the better roster or the better team. So had Travis been healthy here, you're probably seeing this get bet up to 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. It's probably already higher than it's probably climbing, but now there's been a little bit of a narrative change, and it's gotten bet down. And again, it's not to say that those people that got in on Louisville and got a good number don't have a chance to cover. They certainly do. But Florida State, if you look at what they've done this year, it's really been mental lapses and just like sort of lapses in effort, I think, or maybe focus that's cost them against the number. Of course, they haven't lost yet. And you've now slimmed the window for that down so far, if you were to bet Louisville now, that you would need the game to land 1 or 2. And that's just not that likely if Florida State were to win this game. So I think you look at some of Florida State's sort of non-covers this year, or games they maybe shouldn't have covered. Boston College, huge favorite in that game. They kind of went to sleep. Virginia Tech, same thing. They had a lapse in the middle of the game where they took their foot off the gas a little bit, let Virginia Tech score, and Virginia Tech covered the number. Duke, they covered, although that was a game that was tied going into the fourth quarter. They actually probably had no business covering that game. Pitt, same thing, 24-7. There's a theme here. Miami, they were a 14.5-point favorite. That ends up landing 7. And then the last 2 weeks, North Alabama, again, very slow first half, and that was a giant number. And then, of course, last week they do cover in a game where it didn't look like, it looked like they might lose at one point. So the key thread with a lot of those non-covers for Florida State was big spreads in games that they really did kind of control and were always going to win. And in this case, I think you just have to ask yourself, is Rodemaker going to lose Florida State this game? And I don't think he is. I think Florida State, with time to prepare for Louisville, will have a game plan in place where they can lean on the quality of the rest of their roster to succeed. And it's gonna be on Rodemaker to execute, and it's going to be on him to not give it away. But from a betting standpoint, which is what we're talking about here, I would much rather bet on Florida State and their elite roster game planning to get it done rather than try to take Louisville in an upset situation at a bad number that was already a watered down number based on the quarterback news, which we've known, going into this game. Like this isn't new. This isn't week of sort of breaking news that Travis is hurt. So that number was already watered down a little bit. So right now, there's only one way to bet this game. In my opinion, you either have to lay the 2.5 with Florida State, or you have to go find something else to bet. I do think I will be laying the 2.5 with Florida State. It's certainly the way I would bet it. It is on the fringe of my client card right now, but one I very well may add, by game day. So I like the Florida State Seminoles here. I think you're getting a cheap price with a team that, yes, they're on a backup quarterback, but without a doubt, they are the superior team in just about every other area. And I'll back the Seminoles to find a way to get it done in the ACC Championship game. If you like this, if you like the free plays, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and click on the other videos on the screen for more free picks, NFL and college football. And don't forget, coupon code 15OFF3 for 3 days of all access service from any handicapper on the Wager Talk site.